Hello everyone. I'm Wolf, and today we're going to revisit one of the most important editions in Copa Libertadores history, the 1962 tournament. It was in that year that a Brazilian team forever changed South American football. Led by Pelé, Santos dazzled the continent with offensive, technical, and captivating football, beginning one of the greatest dynasties in the competition's history. How was the Peixe campaign? Who were their great stars? And how did Pelé lead Santos to their first continental title? Get ready to travel back to 1962 and relive this unforgettable story. The Libertadores was growing. In 1962, the Copa Libertadores reached its third edition. The competition brought together the national champions of South America and was already gaining enormous prestige. The reigning two-time champion was Peñarol of Uruguay, considered the strongest club on the continent at that time. But a new giant was emerging on the South American stage, Santos Football Club. Pelé's Santos. Santos arrived inspired after winning the 1961 Brazilian Championship. Their squad was considered one of the best in the world. Among the great stars were Pelé, Pepe, Coutinho, Zito, and Gilmar. It was a team that thrilled fans with fast, attacking, and extremely efficient football. Santos campaign. In the first round, Santos faced Universidad Católica of Chile. With authority, the Brazilian team advanced to the semi-finals. In the semi-final, they faced Universidad de Chile. Even against a strong opponent, Santos showed their technical superiority and secured a spot in the grand final. Meanwhile, the experienced Peñarol eliminated their rivals and reached their third consecutive final. The showdown would pit the reigning champion against the new powerhouse of South American football. The grand final. The final was played over 2 matches. In the first, in Montevideo, Peñarol won 3-2. It seemed the Uruguayans were close to a third straight title. But Santos did not give up. In the return leg, played at Vila Belmiro, the Brazilian team put on a show and won 3-0. Since each team had won one match, a third playoff game was required, held in Buenos Aires, Argentina. In front of a packed stadium, Santos delivered another brilliant performance. With decisive goals and great skill, they defeated Peñarol 3-0 and claimed their first Copa Libertadores. Brazilian football had finally reached the top of South America. Pelé shines for the world. Pelé's campaign was simply extraordinary. With his skill, speed, and goal-scoring instinct, he was the great star of the competition. Alongside Coutinho, Pepe, Zito, and Gilmar, Pelé led a team that many experts consider one of the greatest of all time. Just a few months later, Santos would also win the Intercontinental Cup by defeating Eusebio's Benfica, cementing themselves as the best club in the world. Just a few months later, Santos would also win the Intercontinental Cup by defeating Eusebio's Benfica, cementing themselves as the best club in the world. Curiosities about the 1962 Libertadores. It was the first Libertadores title won by a Brazilian club. Santos ended Peñarol's streak of 2 consecutive titles. Pelé was one of the great highlights of the tournament. The final required 3 matches to decide the champion. Santos began a victorious era in South American football. The 1962 Copa Libertadores marked the birth of one of the greatest teams in football history. With Pelé and an unforgettable generation of stars, Santos showed the continent that Brazil also had a giant among clubs. The victory paved the way for many other Brazilian triumphs in the Libertadores and transformed Santos into a global reference. And for you, was Pelé's Santos the greatest team in South American history? Leave your opinion in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to follow more unforgettable football stories. I'm Wolf, and I'll see you in the next episode of Telling Stories. Until next time.